Hi, welcome to Car Mechanical, and today I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the bumper on your Audi A3 8L. So jumping straight into it, we're going to open the boot or the rear hatch, and you're going to use a small Torx bit from your toolkit, and you're going to undo this first piece here. Now, I start to struggle with this, so what I switch to doing is I use the screwdriver bit from my toolkit, and I use a flat blade screwdriver behind just to put some pressure behind that screw so it can actually unthread. So this first bit will come off in a second, which we'll come back to, but we need to go to the passenger side or the left side of your car, and you can undo the holding screw there. So once you've undone these, and I'll put the Torx bit sizes on the screen, once you've undone them, this panel will actually lift out and it's velcroed down, so don't worry if it does feel a little bit stiff. So you're just going to lift it off the velcro and pull it out, and look at the right hand side, this little plastic bit actually is meant to rest separately for when you refit that, so don't worry if that falls off. Next, we've got this piece of metal bar that holds the bumper on from the top, and you've got the 6 hex screws that you can undo. So you're just going to undo those quickly. Now this is a fairly straightforward job to do, and once we've done this, we've done 2 of the 5 bits we need to do to get the bumper off. So whilst we're going through the rest of those, I'm just going to speak more about when you do the wheel arches in a minute. So we're going to do these 3 final ones. You've got 4 screws in the wheel arches, and I'm going to show those, but it is a little bit darker in the footage. I have lightened it, but I can't overdo it. But you can't really miss them. Now, one of the things I've done for this, I did jack up one side to give myself a view underneath the car. You do not need to remove the wheels, you do not need to jack the car up, especially because of my car's lowered, you've probably got better access. Okay, so in the wheel arch, you've got 2 screws at the bottom. I'm just going to brighten things a bit here. Now, you may not get your full ratchet in, but you can start it off with the ratchet and not undo the rest by hand and pop out the 4 screws. So you've got the 2 down the bottom there. You can probably see one. There's another one just behind it, and there's one at the top of the bumper. So we're going to do this for both sides. One thing that's probably worth adding here though, as you're going through it, if you do want better access and you want to be able to see and clean everything up, it might be an idea to put the car on jack stands, to take the wheels off, and to take the rest of the arch liner out. So there's more screws that go up over the top and to the other side, and clean the thing out with a pressure washer all by hand, because you might find this caked up mud that's built around those arch liners. So I'm now round to the driver's side, and it's lighter on the side so we can see where everything is. But all I'm initially do is I use the ratchet to take the main torque off with these little hex screws, and I undo the rest by hand or with the little tool. They really don't need to be tight at all, which is worth mentioning for when we do things back up when we put the bumper back on in a bit. So with the bumper unbolted from the wheel arch liners, we've got the last bit to do in a second, and then the bumper's actually ready to take off. So if we come back round underneath to the back of the bumper and underneath the car, now you can see there's these 2 Torx screws again. So there's one on the driver's side and there's one on the passenger side that I'll move across to. And again, I've jacked the car up on one of the suspension arms just to give myself some working room, but I realised that I didn't need to do it. So we can take these 2 off. The bumper now isn't secured by anything, the bumper is ready to come off. So we're going to come in from the side and show you how I'm going to take that off in a second. I'm going to show you from 2 different angles just to make it clear. So that metal bar, if it's still in place, take that off and pop that to one side. You're going to want to hold with that for when you put the new bumper on, if you're replacing the bumper. And when you take the bumper off, hold on to it, but pull it from the arch liner because of its like compression fitted on, and it will pop off. Then hold on to the bumper and just pull it back. You may need to pull it off from the other side as well. So go and pop your bumper to one side, make sure it doesn't get scratched if you're going to reattach it or stick it in a skip or the back of your truck or whatever if you're taking it to get thrown away. So that's it, less than 4 minutes and you can get the rear bumper off. Now what I'm going to show you next is how we're going to put this back on. So when you put it on from the centre, but it's also, if you can do this with 2 people, it can help, because you need to get it over the bits of plastic at the side. So as you pull it over the arch and in between that gap, and it fits over that plastic piece, and just hit it into place, and then hold on to the bumper so it doesn't fall off, go around to the other side and do it on the other side, and we'll be ready to put the screws in a second as well. But what I want to do is I want to give you guys the view of how you do this just from the close-up point as well, because I've had issues on this with the front bumper before. Oh yeah, of course, put the metal trim bit back in as well, because you're going to put those screws in. Okay, so you see how that's not quite lined up? You're going to pick it up, you're going to pull the bumper to one side a bit, you're going to pull it forward, and there's flex in there, so you may need to pull it and work it round, and put it into place, and once it finds its way home, just give it that nice press back, and that's when the wheel arch screws will come into it, because it will pull everything else home. So you're going to put these 6 screws back in. Now I'm only covering everything briefly to put it all back together. As you can see, doing this bumper work, it's actually really quite quick and easy, but it can be a pain if you don't know what's where. So you're going to pop your 3 screws in per either side of that bumper bar. After you've done that, you can put the trim back in place as well. So you put it in without the bigger bit on it, and it will slide in onto the Velcro nice and easily as well. So get it right way up, slide it under, and it will all find in, and if it's sticking up at all, you've got it in the wrong way. Just keep pushing until it finds its way flat and sticks to the Velcro. Put this little plate in over on the other side. So I'll bring it in a bit more to show you there because it's just right at the edge of the camera shot. But honestly, piece of plastic fits over, stick the screws in, and you're done with this bit. Now, whilst the bumper's off, it can be a good opportunity to look over everything and just give things a quick clean up. The other thing just to note, I haven't filmed putting on the bottom screws because of there really isn't a lot of need to under there. You just go underneath and put it back in the same 2 holes. I'm just going to quickly put things back into the arch liners because of, again, there's a little bit of a technique on that. Do it by hand and then just finish putting the final torque onto it with the your 1/4" ratchet, and that's all there is to it. You can do this job in about 5 minutes. So if you ever have had a crash, or if your old bumper needs a respray and you're going to take it out into your garage or your back garden to do it, this is how you do it. I hope you found this video useful. Please like the video and share it to anyone you think it is going to help. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel, and more than anything, thank you for watching.